control, soil and water conservation, insect disease and rodent control, loosen compacted soil to penetrate the water into the soil to improve the growth of the crop. And also the seed bed preparation that provides a good environment for seeding and planting of plant parts. So why do farmers do it? Farmers are able to practice tillage because it leaves crop residue on the ground to decay and return nutrients and carbon to the soil. It also allows the water to penetrate into the soil that will provide or improve the growth of the crop. So, the development tillage practices from traditional farming to modern techniques that improves the production of crop, increase the yield, and speeds up crop production. So, according to ASABE, or American Society of Agricultural and Biosystem Engineering, in 1933, Fred Home, an Oklahoma farmer, was developed a heavy-duty plow. The objective of his creation was to prevent wind erosion. Together with his son, Home created and sold 2,000 units of chisel plows from their farmstead, and it was purchased by W.T. Graham and distributed the chisel plow in 1938. So, what are the objectives of chisel plow? It prepares seed preparation, erosion control, loosen compacted soil, and weed control. So my objectives are to determine the performance of the implement in terms of theoretical field capacity, actual field capacity, and field efficiency. To determine if the chisel plow can dig up a minimum sowing depth of 5 cm to 7 cm according to FAO 2019, and to determine the fuel consumption rate of the tractor plow implement. So, what are the significance of my study? For the farmers, the field performance of chisel plow will help the farmers to increase the yield production by determining the field efficiency of the implement. For the students, aims to increase the knowledge of the students for the performance of a chisel plow. And for the researchers, the field performance of the implement will help the future researchers as references and to improve the knowledge regarding of the operation of a chisel plow. My study conducted at Barangay Rosario, Dumangas, Iloilo. The site was originally grown for sugarcane. However, the landowner wanted to convert the area for corn plantation. Hence, to prepare the land area, the availability of chisel plow developed by Iloilo New Agri Industrial Marketing and General Services Incorporated was used as secondary tillage implement. It was done on September 16 and 2019, the area was underwent a primary tillage operating for 2 days using a rotavator. This is the location of the experimental site on the map and the actual photo of the area with its GPS coordinates. The parts of the chisel plow are main frame, shank, saw guide, and chisel point. So the main frame, this is where all shanks are attached. And the shank, this is where chisel plow attached, and this part of the implement, the soil guide, is to help the soil to turn on the side, and the chisel point helps to loosen the soil. For the verification of operating speed, 2 marking pegs labeled as point A and point B with a distance of 20 meters in length. The speed of the tractor was determined the time tractor traveled for a given distance with implement on it. A 5-meter distance was allotted for its starting position. The time was recorded from the easily visible end point of marking pegs labeled as point B. The operating time speed was verified for 3 trials. The tractor was operated with normal operating speed based on second gear. This is the GIF during my conduct. For the performance Operation of the chisel plow was mounted on L5018 Kubota tractor. The implement underwent 3 trials for the accuracy of data. The operation was started when the tractor was driven and started to loosen and aerate the soil while leaving the residue at the top of the surface. Thus, loosening the soil will help to penetrate the water into the soil for crop development and higher yield. This is the operational pattern of the tractor mounted with the chisel plow during my conduct. For the performance evaluation before the operation, the size of each trial was measured, the soil sample for the moisture content of the soil, the amount of fuel, the operating speed, including the productive and unproductive time. During the operation, the productive and unproductive time, or the operating time was measured. The sowing depth, width of cut is also measured, and the number of trips. After operation, the fuel amount was also measured. The instruments used during my conduct: measuring tape for measuring the length and width of the plot, marking pegs used as landmarks to avoid confusions, digital camera used to record the operating time, measuring cylinder for the measurement of fuel, the fuel container used for storage of fuel, the steel rule used to measure the length and width of the implement, sample bags, and 4-wheel tractor used to pull the implement. The data collected: the size of the plot during the trials, the width of cut, depth of cut, operating time, fuel consumption, weight of the implement, overall length of the implement, and overall width of the implement. The parameter analyzed: effective area plowed. The total plowed area during the operation based upon the width of cut, length of plot, total number of trips traveled by the tractor. And it was expressed in square meter. And the actual field capacity, it refers to actual field performance of the CP based upon the time used during the operation. The theoretical field capacity refers to the rated speed or the verified speed of the tractor and working width of the implement. And for the field efficiency, refers to the ratio of the field capacity to the theoretical field capacity expressed as percentage. And fuel consumption rate refers to the amount of fuel consumption used per unit area. Results. For the theoretical field capacity expressed in hectare per hour, for the trial 1, the result shows that 0.3912. For the trial 2 is 0.3912, and for the trial is 0.3912, giving an average of 0.3912. The actual field capacity expressed in hectare per hour is 0.3386. For the second trial, 0.3587, and for the third trial is 0.3617, given an average of 0.3530. The field efficiency expressed in percent is, for the trial 1 is 86.58%, for the trial 2 is 91.74%, for the trial 3 is 92.45%, given an average of 90.25%. For my sowing depth, or the result for the sowing depth or depth of cut, for the trial 1 is 11 centimeter, for the trial 2 is 11.5 centimeter, for the trial 3 is 10.5 centimeter, given an average of 11. For the fuel consumption rate, expressed in liter per hour, for the trial 1 is 3.83, for the trial 2 is 3.74, and for the trial 3 is 4.10, given an average of 3.89. Conclusions. The chisel plow has an average actual and theoretical field capacity of 0.3530 hectare per hour and 0.3912 hectare per hour, respectively, given an average of field efficiency of 19.25%, a value higher compared to the obtained in other studies. The depth of cut was 11 centimeter, which meets the required minimum sowing depth for corn production, that is between 5 centimeter to 7 centimeter. The tractor with an attached chisel plow has an average fuel consumption rate of 3.89 liter per hour. Recommendations. The chisel plow can be further subjected to the field evaluation under the different soil conditions to determine its efficiency and suitability. The chisel plow can be spaced equally, or the shanks of the chisel plow can be spaced equally to minimize untilled strips. The operator should have consistency in operating the tractor since the operating speed affects the field efficiency of the implement. The topography of the area must be uniformly leveled to minimize fuel consumption. And for the efficient fuel consumption, or the unproductive time should be prevented by considering the obstacles that may hinder the operation to avoid higher amount of fuel consumption. Okay. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank
So, let's wait for the questions from our evaluators.
What is the primary use of a chisel plow?
The primary use of chisel plow, sir, is to prepare seedbed preparation, sir, and to loosen the compacted soil, sir.
So it's for underplowing.
For primary, sir, before you plant your crops, sir, you should plow. You should first, use tillage, sir.
So meaning the first tillage.
Ang chisel plow, sir, ang depende rin siya, sir, kung gin-design sa primary tillage or secondary
English
tillage,
kita.
sir. Ay, sorry, ma'am. The chisel plow, sir, it's either designed for primary tillage or secondary tillage, sir. But, sir, the Iloilo New Agri Develop was the chisel plow designed for primary tillage, secondary tillage, sir.
Secondary tillage for what purpose?
The purpose of secondary tillage, sir, is to prepare seedbed preparation, sir.
Seed bed preparation.
Seedbed preparation.
But I think your purpose for the use of the chisel plow is for you to create a row for corn seeding.
Yes, sir.
It's different from seed bed.
Ay, sorry, sir. Maybe, sir. Yes, sir. Sowing depth. yun.
Okay.
Sowing depth.
And also, I think in most cases, granting that you just use it for tillage, it is your first or primary tillage. Then you follow it up with cultivator.
No, sir. The first thing I do during the conduct is my first working is we use rotavator, sir, for primary tillage, and for the next, sir, is secondary tillage, sir. Sir, the secondary tillage, sir, is to prepare seed depth, sir, for corn.
That's why
For
it
sowing.
depends on the purpose.
Sir, it
Like-
depends on your design, sir, if it is primary or secondary.
Like for example, you use a moldboard plow for primary tillage,
Yes.
and then to pulverize the clods, no?
Yes.
You use rotavator or
Yes, sir.
harrow.
Yes, sir.
So that's the secondary tillage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you're using a tractor, maybe the primary tillage is the chisel, which can be like a moldboard plow, but then after that you do you rotivate, no? But then I think your purpose is for the use of the chisel is to create
Sowing
a row
depth, sir.
for the sowing of corn.
That,
Instead of using only carabao and a moldboard plow,
Yes, sir.
which will have only one row
sir.
at
Yes,
a
sir.
time, no, you want to maximize and you want to mechanize, you use this chisel plow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basic question is, do you follow, will the result follow the recommended row distance for corn?
For corn, sir, it was... For the distance, sir, of corn, sir, I haven't searched for the required distance of corn, but I only search for the required depth because of my objective is to to determine the sowing depth of the corn, sir.
Okay, so what is the depth?
The required depth, sir, according to FAO 2019, sir,
It's 5 to 7.
5 to 7 centimeters,
That's the
sir.
recommended,
The minimum sowing depth, sir, of corn.
That's why they have a range, 5 to 7.
Minimum lang na, sir. Minimum depth lang, sir,
Okay, but then you said it is between.
in
Your depth of 11 is in between the recommended rate of 5 to 7.
kaya ang ano, sir, 5 to 7 centimeter
Let's
is only,
reply
sir,
in English. Thank you.
is for the minimum depth of the corn.
But you have to be very careful in your statement. I think you made mention there that it is between 5 to 7.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
But it's not
5.
between 5 to 7. It's outside
Okay,
5 to
sir.
7, right?
Oh, sorry, sir. Okay.
Here. It is between the recommended range of 5 to 7.
Okay,
I
sir.
think
I
last
will
part of
change
your...
the ano, sir.
So, it's not within
Sir.
or in between 5 to 7.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am Rogin, have you checked
sir.
the recommended sowing depth for corn?
Yes, sir. According to FAO, sir, 2019, the required sowing depth for corn is 5 centimeters, sir. Minimum sowing depth.
5 centimeter only?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have to go to double check also my data here because I just checked with Google. Anyway, so when I check here in Google, the recommended depth for corn is 1.5 inches depth
Or 2.
or up to 3 inches actually. So this is 11 centimeters.
2.5
So 1.5 inches, that's about
2.5.
3.81 centimeter. So why did you use FAO? What about PAES or Philippine data?
Wala there is no requirement, ma'am, for for required sowing depth for corn, ma'am,
Hmm?
in PAES.
So anyway, after the land preparation, what did the farmer or the owner of the land
The owner, ma'am,
do with the area?
The owner, ma'am, planted corn after the preparation, ma'am.
Did you not ask the owner the space requirement, for example, as part of your, learning the entire operation, for example, of the area?
No, ma'am.
Wala gidya kalapot sa
No.
istorya na nga na.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Estimate. When you go to a cornfield, more or less, how much is the distance?
Roji,
Ma'am, sir.
I know that you have limitation on type of soil. What hinders you to test other areas?
Sir, sorry, sir. The only soil available at Rosario, sir, is the clay type soil, sir. The available area, sir.
Farms that would can you test during the period? I think just only short period that you could test the machine.
If ever, sir, that I will test the performance of the chisel plow in different type of soil, sir, it could affect the efficiency, sir, of the chisel plow.
Yes, that's why it's also part that we part of the criteria to check the performance, and checking on the type of soil would be also interesting when doing a research
sir.
or study. Then my follow-up question is this: the depth is adjustable, or it's physically already adjusted that it could only can plow at 11 centimeter, or it can be adjusted to higher or lower depth?
The rotavator, sir, set
Chisel plow, for example, can that be adjusted to a certain depth?
Oh, yes, sir.
Therefore, when you do the trial, if you've seen that it's 11 inches, have you tried also to like the recommended range of 6 centimeter?
During, sir, the conduct, sir, the 11 centimeters, sir, is the depth of the chisel plow, sir, that I was obtained.
In obtaining, how many samples did you take the 11 inches?
3, sir.
Three
3
only?
per plot, randomly, sir. And for the second trial, 3 man. And for the 3 trial.
Thank you.
If you have checked the recommendation for the row spacing for corn, you could have adjusted the spikes of the chisel equidistant in relation to the recommended row spacing for corn. And I think it's okay if you have 11 and the recommended is 5 to 7. It's easy to fill the barrow
Yes.
to conform with the 5 to 7 than having a depth of just 3 centimeters, and you cannot further do the digging
Yes.
to come up with the 5 to 7 depth. No? So I think it's still okay. But I think the problem is that you have not adjusted the distance
sir.
of your spikes to conform with the
Requirement.
recommended row distance for corn. Also, your estimate for cost of operating cost, no, for spacing for in corn language for EDAS, no,
Sir.
I don't think it's very realistic because you only include
Sowing.
the fuel based on the consumption per hectare.
Yes, sir.
Because when you do custom plowing per hectare, for example, a rotavator maybe would cost you 4,500 to 5,000 per hectare.
Yes, sir.
But maybe if you use the chisel plow just for laying the rows, no, it can be cheaper. No?
Yes,
So
sir.
you should come up with a more realistic, no? Because it's really very cheap. No? It's more cheaper than hiring a plow and a carabao and the person doing it, no, on a per day basis, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then one observation is during your tests, what particular season did you conducted your? Is
Ang
it
dry
what?
season,
Dry
sir.
season. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have to remember. Kasi I kept on reviewing the depth for the dry season. Actually, the maximum depth requirement is only 10 centimeter. So 11 centimeter is too much. Anyway, it was already if that implements as may adjustment mechanism naman siya siguro, di ba?
Yes, yes, sir.
So the 11 centimeter derived was a maximum depth already.
Minimum, sir. Ang
This is the minimum.
5'7".
The 11 centimeter. The depth of cut was 11 centimeter, which meets the required sowing depth. Yeah. Your target is 5 to 7, right? But the result is 11 centimeter. Am I
It
right?
was wrong, sir. That I mean, sir, for that, it was only minimum. I mean, sir, minimum depth of the sowing depth for corn, sir, is minimum depth 5 centimeter.
Then because you use your as reference yung FAO.
Oh, yes, sir.
But if you're going to check in the Philippine condition, it's a different requirement actually in terms of depth.
Sa nung ganit pista sa Rosario Rodina.
Tapos na, sir.
Doon lapit mo wala pa pro.
So, January 26.
January pa tong le.
Oo, sir.
Tulak
Sa ano
mo.
na lang, sir, sa may kansilayan. Ay, sa Ermita, gali, sir. Mamista ko to.
Okay na. I think, yeah. So, thank you, Raj. Congratulations also. Wala ka man nalipong, ah. So, that's good. Let's proceed to the 8th presenter.